Hi everyone, it's the Ticket to Christ. Thank you for tuning back in. We're in the Empowering Courage and Psychological Resilience series. We're looking at Genesis 7 from 11 through 17. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind went in unto Noah into the ark. 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. Okay, so let's pause there. And of course, we can't read the whole account. This is a short clip, but I encourage you to read just from, Genesis through the whole account of Noah, just to get a good, an analysis or, understanding of Noah, who he is and what God thought about him. In Genesis 6, verse 8, it says, "But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord." And I think that's where his resilience came from. That came from God, that he found grace in the eyes of God. And so God was with Noah and, received the favor of the Lord because he was walking with God. But notice, because only Noah and his family were saved, which is 8 people, we can come to the right understanding then that every single person around Noah who was alive at that time, they were all corrupt, perverted. Imagine that. Imagine everybody that you're going to the store, the supermarket, or whatever they went to, the river, and everybody you're going to bump into is perverted, doing some perverted thing, saying some perverted thing, coming up with new perverted ideas and ways. And just how challenging it must be to live like that. I would assume maybe Noah pulled away and maybe, lived with some level of space, at least, between him and others, so that he, could have some kind of a measure of peace in doing this. I don't like to overly speculate. The Bible doesn't give us specifics. We can only imagine, though, that it must have been pretty intense, and it would take courage to lead that effort. You have one man having to lead this family, having to put together the ark, and have all the animals that were chosen to be saved coming in 2 by 2. But the Lord led them in. And notice verse 16 jumps strongly out at me, 16b, where it says, "And the Lord shut him in." So God let them in, and God was the one that shut that door when it was time, right? And so similarly, whatever you're going through, whatever you're needing courage about, just making sure that you're doing what God has asked you to do, and that God is in the center of it, because with that, he will provide the grace that you need to carry you, right? And he will do the hard things, just like God shut Noah in. That would have been a hard thing to do, for Noah to just lock everybody out. So God did it. And only when God was ready to open up the ark could it be opened up again. I can imagine as well, just when you're hearing the floodgates open up all around you. Verse 11 talks about that is pretty scary. I could think his wives, his daughters-in-law, just how scary it might have been for all of them to, and yeah, I think you know, to be in that ark, to be with all of the animals, to just that sense of uncertainty, although you know for a fact that God called you to do it, so you know for a fact you're going to survive, but it still might have been very challenging. But I don't know, I guess it would depend on their relationships with the people around them, and how strong, whether they had deep convictions or not. And then later we saw Ham sinned, when they were saved, which was very strange. So I think the focus was on Noah's righteousness saved his family. I think we could safely come to that conclusion because of what happened with Ham. And so, walking righteous, my takeaway from this is no matter what's going on around you, no matter who's doing what, whether or not no one else is walking with the Lord, you walk with the Lord with courage and confidence, because when you walk with him, he's able to provide you with the grace you need to deal with whatever situations you are faced with dealing with. And trust me, God is able and will deliver you strong and to his glory, as long as you're sticking with him. So that's my takeaway from this, beloved. I hope this is giving you food for thought as you study out Noah as the example of someone with tremendous psychological resilience, tremendous bounce back, right? And a lot of faith and strength and trusting in God to go through something like this. God loves you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.